and welcome to Crochet After Dark podcast episode number 8. My name's April and I love to share everything crochet and yarn related. In today's podcast episode, I'll be sharing with you one finished object. It's this Country Fields blanket here behind me, as well as 3 of the works in progress that I have been working on this week. Let's get started. For finished objects, I have the Country Fields blanket. This is a blanket that is a free Yarnspirations pattern by the same name, Country Fields. And it works up as a combination of double crochets and granny clusters. And the original pattern was various shades of green, and I kind of modified that. I wanted to go with more of a like John Deere farming kind of color palette. Now, this blanket took quite a while for me to complete, and the reason for that is just because while the pattern itself is very simple, the color changes kind of don't happen in a logical order. So instead of making it where you could carry at least some of the colors up the sides, you do have to end the yarn for each color once you finish with it, and that's kind of frustrating. And it resulted in a lot of ends to weave in. So this project was really a challenge for me to kind of want to pick up and get through. But I did finally finish it. And I will be donating this project to Project Linus next month. And for the border, I asked you guys what you thought I should do for the border. And one of the viewers recommended black. And that actually worked up really nicely. Just a simple double crochet border all the way around, and I think it gives it some nice definition and isn't too overbearing. But again, this is the Country Fields blanket. It's a free pattern on Yarnspirations, and I will link it in the description below. So that's my finished object. Let's have a look at some of my whips. The first whip I have to show you is just continuing progress on this granny square blanket. Now this is my own pattern, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. Right now I'm working on, I want to do 2 rows of white all the way around. I did have an issue here where I did my join where there's a little bit too big of a hole, so I'm going to close that up probably by hand sewing it with yarn. But if I were to do this pattern again, and I may do it again, maybe using yellow and like a mint green, just to kind of refine it a little bit before I write it up for you guys, because I'm not happy with the way that that gap is there. So I want to figure out a solution to close that up. But overall, it's just kind of an abstract granny. What I'm going to do at this point is once I'm done edging the white, I'm going to fill in the gaps up here and on the sides to make it a square. And then we'll round it out with some kind of a simple border. But this is kind of like my pink lemonade baby blanket, and I don't know if that's going to be its final name or what have you, but I just wanted to work on a project that was kind of simple with granny squares, but still, you know, not a traditional granny square, and I think this project is really accomplishing that. So my second whip is this blue, gray, and white corner to corner blanket, and this one I'm working up to be approximately 36, oops, I've got my hook attached still, 36 inches. So I've just gotten to the point where I'm going to be decreasing now. So if we look, any corner could be the top or the bottom, but I've just gotten to where I can start to decrease and square this off. I really like how that kind of, we have that neutral of the white and the gray with just the single accent color. And I could see so many possibilities of this really having any type of accent color and still looking great. This would look great as a black to keep it kind of monochromatic. It would look good as a yellow or a mint green or a pink, or even a variegated or rainbow yarn would look great as an accent color. And the other thing I think that's great about this is if you have just a little bit left of one color, then it would work up great in this blanket because we're not using very much of the blue at all, comparatively. So this is the progress on my corner to corner. And again, I just started decreasing, so I'm hoping now each row is going to get smaller. So this should hopefully get finished up this week, but we'll see. Last but certainly not least for this week's works in progress is this wave baby blanket that I'm working on. Now I'm using 7 stitches between each peak and valley, and I'm working this up in 3 colors. So the 3 colors are the ones that I showed you guys last week in the podcast. It's this Caron Cinnamon Swirl Cake in the color Bay, and then I'm pairing that with Red Heart Super Saver in Royal and Red Heart Super Saver in Spring Green. So these 3 colors combined, and what I'm doing is every row I'm alternating colors. So we have the Spring Green, the Bay, Royal, and then again repeating Spring Green, Bay, Royal. And in some places it kind of blends together, which I expected. And then here you can obviously see there's all different colors each row. And so the reason I chose 3 colors for this is because I knew that if I did 3 colors, I could carry the work up the end and not have any ends to weave in. So this is actually working up very quickly, and I'm excited to see how it progresses. That's it for me this week. I do have a couple of projects planned for next week, including getting or refining the way I do my setup for my tutorial videos. If you have a chance, click through to one of the tutorial videos that will be linked in the cards at the end of this video. Have a look at them and drop a comment for me if you have any suggestions for ways that I can improve my tutorial videos. I'm new to filming these, so I really want to make sure that they get filmed in a way that makes it easy for you as the viewer to learn the patterns, because when I'm shooting the tutorials, I already know how to do the pattern. And my ultimate goal is to make sure as many people as possible who want to learn the pattern can learn it as well. So you're not hurting my feelings at all. If you think something I did was good, let me know in the comments. If you think there's a way that I can improve, let me know in the comments. And what I'm going to do is kind of assemble all of the comments that I get over the next few days and try and film another tutorial, possibly even redoing one of my existing ones to see if I can't improve and make things a little bit better for the viewer. Until next time, keep calm and crochet on.